For me, I think the biggest thing that football taught me was how to overcome adversity.
At some point in your life, you're going to have some tough times.
You have to have that next play mentality.
That cohesiveness and that working together, that's really something special that you can't get in a lot of other areas.
When you practice that and you live that in other phases of your life, it becomes second nature because all you know how to do is fight.
It's not an easy game. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
You start to appreciate the smaller contributions that people make. You don't just look at the big one because you knew it took 6 or 7 other guys who are unsung.
And you know, you can't take shortcuts and be successful.
Doing what they do to make it possible for the guy getting the press clippings or whatever it might be.
In this game, whether it's as a coach or a player.
So I would certainly say that you know, you definitely got a very quick lesson in how to overcome adversity playing football.
And don't forget to check out and order your copy of our latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. You can find this available in both paperback and PDF form on our website at footballgameplan.com/books. I'm glad San Diego was able to extend Phillip Rivers. The future Hall of Famer has been a Chargers signal caller since 2006 and only one losing season in that stretch. Rivers is tough, he's talented, and more than ready to take San Diego where they want to go. Now, the re-signing and extending of Rivers allows the scouting department the opportunity to really take their time to find his heir apparent because, to be frank, what they have currently on the roster is questionable at best. The Chargers got their game breaker in the draft with Melvin Gordon out of Wisconsin, and Gordon, in my opinion, is a lot like Jamal Charles in the fact that he gives Phillip Rivers a legit threat in the backfield that can take pressure off the passing game. San Diego is also blessed with tremendous depth in the backfield with Danny Woodhead, Brandon Oliver, and Donald Brown. In my opinion, the Chargers rival the Broncos with the deepest backfield in the division. Malcolm Floyd and Keenan Allen make a pretty strong duo for San Diego. The two wideouts combined for over 1,500 yards, 129 receptions, and 10 touchdowns. Allen is a guy that's a very tough player to defend and should crack the 1,000-yard mark this season. After losing Eddie Royal via free agency, the goal was to find a number 3, and bringing in Stevie Johnson accomplishes just that. Johnson, in my opinion, is the perfect complement to both Allen and Floyd and should also excel in this offense. Austin Pettis, Dontrell Inman, and undrafted free agent Titus Davis out of Central Michigan will vie for the 4th and 5th receiver slots, and I like all 3 guys, and I think they're capable. At tight end, future Hall of Famer Antonio Gates will miss the first 4 games due to suspension, so that means the first quarter of the season is a huge audition for 4th-year man Ladarius Green. Now, Green is athletic and can get down the seam, but he must bring that level of consistency to his game. Really good blocking tight end in John Phillips, and there's an opportunity for a young, unheralded player to make the roster. I would keep an eye on undrafted free agent Brian Parker out of the University of Albany. I got the chance to see him down at the Super Regional Combine this past spring in Arizona. He performed well there. I went back to check the tape, and this is a guy on tape, has the skill set to be a solid number 2 or 3 type player in an offense. I believe the Chargers' offensive line can be solid once they figure out the right side. I think Fluker can be a really good player. Better technique will help him deal with speed rushers coming off the edge. The signing of Joe Barksdale was a good one because, in my opinion, it gives them flexibility with what they can do at right guard with Johnny Troutman, who was the weakest link along that offensive line last season. So whether or not that's moving Fluker inside and starting Barksdale at right tackle, that may be the way to go. But on the other end, you look at left tackle King Dunlap and left guard Orlando Franklin. I think they could dominate on the left side. Chris Watt steps in at center after admirably performing well last season. And I also believe they have some quality depth up front as well with Chris Harrison, Trevor Robertson, and Jeremy Sirles.
I love football. I cannot get enough of football. I watch it on every level.
The emotional release. You know, whether it's an exciting play that gets you all jacked up and juiced, or whether it's the fact that you're able to pour everything you have. Whatever frustration you had that week, you can put into that first kickoff coverage, that first block that you have, whatever it might be.
And I couldn't think of anything better to do to fill that void that you have as a football player than to get into coaching.
You get a chance to release a lot of emotion that you otherwise have no place to release. There's nothing else like that.
Again, the relationships you build and the people you're around and watching the guys compete, not just on the football field, but in life. after they get done playing. It's just an amazing game.
I think there's enough here for San Diego to work with along the defensive line, and yes, they can improve in certain areas, but you know what you're getting up front from this group. Corey Liuget is a guy that applies pressure and is a threat. Kendall Reyes is a steady player, but you can't expect him to be Liuget. Now, Sean Lessamore is quick off the ball, but isn't stout, which is why I think second-year man Ryan Carruthers out of Arkansas State makes a huge impact this season. It wouldn't surprise me also to see him start. I like the depth here as well with Ricardo Matthews and rookie Darius Philbin out of Arkansas, and quietly the signing of Mitch Unrein from the Denver Broncos I think was a great pickup. He's going to be a highly productive player for San Diego. I actually like the Bolts linebacking core. The big if is Melvin Ingram's health. If he's out there at 100%, he's a difference maker. Jeremiah Adecho, I believe, will take significant strides in year 2. The potential of pass rushers coming off the bench is also impressive in Cordero Law, Torrick Williams, Colton Underwood, and rookie 5th-round pick Kyle Emanuel out of North Dakota State. This allows for unique personnel groupings based on situations for this defense. Emanuel, in my opinion, was a huge steal in the draft. Now, on the inside, both Manti Te'o and Donna Butler could benefit from better play at nose tackle. However, they still have to play faster in order to be effective. Rookie 2nd-round pick Denzel Perryman out of Miami is a very good downhill backer, and San Diego will have to figure out a way to get him on the field. Cavell Connor also provides good depth, and I would keep an eye on undrafted free agents Chichi Ariguzo out of Northwestern and Curtis Grant, who I liked a lot coming out of Ohio State. Both could be practice squad candidates. Solid back end for San Diego. Both safety Eric Weddle and cornerback Brandon Flowers are cornerstone type defenders. Strong safety Jalil Adai is a pretty good defender in his own right, and the hope is that last year's 1st-round pick Jason Verrett out of TCU can stay healthy and give San Diego 2 standout corners. I'm a big fan of 3rd-round pick Craig Mager out of Texas State, who has a lot of Cortland Finnegan to his game. Patrick Robinson was brought in to compete for the 3rd, 4th cornerback type role, but I would keep an eye on undrafted free agent Manny Esprilla out of Boston College. He fits the Chargers cornerback mold and has a great chance to stick. Both reserve safety Darryl Stuckey and free agent Jimmy Wilson from the Miami Dolphins provide good quality depth and good play on special teams. The Chargers are an A+ in the special teams department. Both kicker Nick Novak and punter Mike Cyphers are amongst the best in the league. The coverage unit should be stellar once again based upon the depth they have at the 2nd and 3rd levels, and bringing in Jacoby Jones via free agency upgrades the return game. Jones averaged 30.6 yards a kickoff return last season, bringing 1 back for a touchdown. I have the Chargers finishing 1st in the AFC West. I think this is a well-balanced football team that finally got a game breaker in the backfield. Defensively, they can get after the quarterback. I like what they put together on the back end. So overall, with Phillip Rivers at the helm, I think the Chargers will win the division and make some serious noise in the playoffs. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Charger fan forums for always showing football game plan support.